Right, hi everyone, how you doing? It's Harry. So we're back on the quayside again. We're going to be talking about the loan players who are out on loan, those three, and whether they've got the future at the club or whether they could make an impact about it. I'm sure the Mitrovic one will probably be the biggest one. But let's talk about Marcel's reports coming out. I'll start with you, Kyle. Reports are coming out that in Belgium that they want to make that deal permanently, but finances, because he's the highest paid player in Belgium, isn't he? Do you think what's going to happen with him?
I think Sels will go, to be honest. I think if Newcastle can get the deal done, which is rumoured to be €4 million for Sels, it definitely gives us the leverage to go and buy Dubravka, which is what we all want. Like Sels, when he was at Newcastle,
we're not losing out on money, are we?
No.
If we sell him,
it doesn't. Sels didn't make the pay grade at Newcastle. He's comfortable in Belgium, where he was one of the players of the year there before he came to Newcastle with the big reputation. He's comfortable there. Just let him go back.
Question for you, Mark. If we don't sell Sels, then we've left with potentially Woodman coming back, and if we sign Dubravka, 5 goalkeepers sitting there.
I think it is going to be a done deal with Sels.
Do you think it is that done, literally?
If not Anderlecht, I think there'll be someone else, whether or not we'll cut with losses just so we can get the wage off there. I think it will be him, and I also think one of the others will go as well. With Elliott and Darlow.
I would agree. Totally agree. Jack Colback, who we know that he doesn't have a future under Rafa Benitez. Whether it's Nottingham Forest, I mean, to be fair though, Nottingham Forest fans absolutely love him, and he's done a real good job there, so credit him, whether we rate him or not. Yeah. You were joking on putting him in England side when he ever before. Jokes obviously aside, but you know, he's got a year left on his contract at the Toon. Do you think he'll go somewhere? Because ironically there was talk that he didn't want to move too far away from the northeast, but then I think was it Leeds he turned down, then he buggers off to Nottingham, which is even Hull, that was it. Then he goes even further south to Nottingham. So, well, Forest, sorry. What's going to happen with Jack Colback? Will he join Forest?
I'd like to say, I hope so, because he's just, every time he played under Rafa, he looked outplaced, didn't he? So this get him off the wage bill for me as soon as possible.
It's the same with the finances at Forest, similar, and can't afford his wages, because Karanka's already come out and said that would like to have him, but depending on the financial situations. Yeah. Are you along with that? Do you think if he doesn't get a club, Rafa's just going to make him rot anyways in the last year?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the first team. If anything, it's going to be under 23s if we don't sell him there. I think it's already gone. From obviously what we heard before he went out on there was a bit of a disagreement between him and Rafa. So I think that's his time at Newcastle up.
I have to agree. Let's talk about Rolando Aarons. Does he have a future? Obviously he's been down here quite a few times the last few months at the court just behind me. Obviously he's got problems with his ex as well, but with his child and so on. What's going to happen with Rolando Aarons? You know, he's playing for a side who are effectively being more or less relegated from Serie A.
Yeah.
I know Pecci has done Rafa a deal by taking him on loan. Does he come back, start afresh, or what would you do with Rolando Aarons in the summer?
It's a shame. I think Rolando has gone in the summer, to be honest. Cause, yeah, I do. It's a shame because I remember a couple of years ago when he came on when he started against Crystal Palace and he lit them up. He scored his first goal in his first game. Everybody thought, well, this is the future. And then he went on to hammer Man City in the Carling Cup a couple of years back, and it's been a sad story, really, a run of injuries and his problems off the field and everything like that. I'd like to see him come back and light up the midfield again for Newcastle, but I just don't think he'll be able to. It's sad, it really is, because I really rate the lad. But
he's still. What makes me a bit annoyed is that for the first time he's had a fully fit season. He hasn't been injured at all, and he can't get in the and I said England there. He can't get in that Newcastle side. He had a great display against Nottingham Forest in the cup, if you guys remember, and then he just wasn't heard of. You know, it looks like we're going to strengthen whether we get Kennedy or not. Chris Natsu's already ahead of him. What will happen with Rolando Aarons? Because he's still got, let's face it, he's still got what, 3 years left on his deal. Do you think he'll go somewhere else? Do you think he'll come back pre-season, Mark, and then see how he develops? What's going to happen?
I think the same as Kyle. I think he's gone. Yeah. If you look at the stats, he played 137 minutes this season for Newcastle. Yeah, it was only when we didn't have the players he was coming in, and that was like just quick reserve games or a cup game there. I also get the feeling that he seems to be more interested in his personal life and going on his social media and posting pictures than actually putting the effort in at the club.
Could say that about Ashraf Lazar. I've totally forgot about him. His features. I think everybody has, but I haven't even got him on the list. Ashraf Lazar, what's happening with the Moroccan? I mean, he's all over Instagram. You talk about that, bloody hell. What's going to happen with him?
I think he'll be gone this summer, Marcel. He had a couple of disagreements with Rafa before he left, didn't he? So I'd say personally, I think he's out the door in the summer, like, definitely. If it's not a loan move, it'll be gone.
What alarms me is that he's playing for another. This is similar to Rolando Aarons, playing for a side who was shocking again in Italy. And then he's left out the whole 25-man squad, and they bring in a free agent, Bakary Sagna, who hadn't played for 4 or 5 months.
It is a strange one. Rafa even admitted at the beginning of the season he didn't want to let Lazaar go, but Lazaar wanted the game time, and because Rafa couldn't give him it, he let him go out on loan. Why it hasn't worked out, whether or not there's an attitude problem, whether or not he's just not good enough, I don't know. He showed glimpses in a couple of little stars when he first came.
Why has he never made it?
I think a lot of the time, I'm going to bring up the likes of Cabella and Tovan as well, I think we expect too much from players coming in from another league, and we expect them to instantly hit the ground running. It isn't always going to work like that, and I think we need to be patient with players. What's to say we wouldn't be getting the Tovan that you're seeing now in the French league for Newcastle if we'd give them that little bit of patience? So it is one of those things there. If we're bringing players in and we're spending big money on them, give them more than a season to try and prove themselves. Otherwise it's a waste of money.
Is his future away then? Is he gone?
I can't see him staying. I'd like him to, because I'd like to give him another chance there, but I just can't see it.
Let us know in the comments for that. Henri Saivet, who's just been left out the Senegalese World Cup squad. Get more Diarmi out of retirement, get him in there. So again, he's another one who we didn't really see, and then all of a sudden he came a prominence against West Ham, scored a great free kick, had a couple of substitute roles after that, and then shifted out on loan. He's another one who's hasn't really gone and kicked on, has he?
Saivet was a confusing one when we brought him in January under McLaren, wasn't he? Like
barely played under Rafa as well.
He hasn't. As he says, it was that one game against West Ham, but you see he scored a free kick, but he gave the ball away for them to score for the first goal in the first 10 minutes, didn't he? So he's one of them players. Would I like to see him get a chance? Maybe if they want to give him a chance, give him a pre-season, see how he runs out and everything like that. But if not, I'd show him the door, because he's one of them many players that's on loads of money at the minute, wage bill.
I'll cash in on him. I would probably even accept 2 to 3 million just to get him off the wage book, Mark.
I don't think he's got a future at Newcastle, but I am gonna give him a little bit of credit.
Why?
Because it was after that West Ham game when Diarmi played with him that Diarmi started turning good. So I'm going to give Saivet the credit for that one.
Did you give him still more Diarmi's performances down to Henri Saivet?
We'll give him that one, yeah. We'll give him a final good.
And the magic Lacazette.
Oh yeah, charismatic Lacazette, yeah. Well, I heard Saivet give him that, so that's where it all started.
Oh, have a look at that fan cam. God, right. And the final one, which is the big one, is what do you do with Mitrovic? Because Slimani came in and let's be honest, he was rubbish. Injured for 3 months, had a couple of decent games, and we didn't see the rest of them banned. What we're going to do with Mitrovic, he's scoring goals for fun at Fulham. In the best case scenario, whether we sell him or not, he needs to have a good World Cup, because if we sell him, that'll put his price up. Does Rafa bring him back in, integrate him again? What's your thoughts of Mitrovic?
The thing is with Mitrovic is it's alright bringing him into the team and saying give him a run out, but with Fulham he's playing under a different system. Like under Fulham, like
they play to his strengths.
They play to his strengths, whereas Rafa's going to play to the team's strengths, not Mitrovic's. Mitrovic needs a team built around to succeed, I think, and I don't think under with Rafa's selections, Rafa's formations, Rafa's tactics that it's going to happen like that. At Fulham, like. It's all for him. He's got his quick wingers, get the ball into the box, get Mitrovic on the score sheet. But
Simons put you off there, wasn't it?
But honestly, I don't see a future for Mitrovic. In all honesty, it's a shame because he's well liked up here, but I think he's. It
is a shame. I would like to see him back integrated personally. Whether I think that'll happen, no. I just think Rafa's not a fan of him. People talk about hotheads. People talk about Chelsea not going to the World Cup because of a hothead. Blah blah blah. I think that's a load of rubbish. I think when you're on the pitch, yes, every single player. Rooney's like that. For me, I just think it's the system. I know that's funny that because Gareth Southgate talked about that. I just think the way we play, you need your striker to be doing a lot of running, and Mitrovic isn't in that. We're not a team who whips balls in constantly. and I think he suffers because of that, and I think Joslu's the same, he suffers because of that, and I think his future unfortunately is away from the club. Let's try and pocket 50 to 20 million. If he has a great World Cup, even better.
It is a tough one with Mitrovic, but the way I'm going to put it, if you'd seen a Championship striker score 11 goals since December and you didn't have him at the club, wouldn't you be saying we need to go and sign this?
Let me ask you this question as well. Could Joslu do that in the Championship? Could he? Do you reckon?
No.
No, but I actually think Joslu's played as a striker. I think he should be a number 10.
Really?
Because I think he gives that support, he's up there, he has that presence, and he does play the balls off and give the support. I just don't think he can be played as a lone striker.
He can't pass though.
So you either put him up as a number 10 or you put a striker alongside him. And I'm going to be honest, Mitrovic can, whether or not we keep him as a main striker, I would keep him as someone who we can bring off the pitch. So someone who can, when defences are tiring, just get in there and just really mix things up. I think Mitrovic can do that. And for me, I would forget the defensive work. Your striker's there to score goals, so realistically you've got another 9 or so players back to do the
You make a good point with Dwight Gale. He's barely scoring, but he does a lot of those runs, doesn't he? So it's a big one, the Mitrovic one. Let us know what you think of that. Of obviously all the lone players, the Mitrovic one, I'm sure that will cause debate in the comments box. Again, we'll see you later from France. Ta-da, bye-bye.